Hey guys, thanks for joining me for another Dokkan Battle video, and today I'm continuing my same name team showcase series, and we've got Team Goten and Trunks. So literally this whole team is Kid Goten and Trunks cards, right? And I'm not even running Krillin. Like now this team build could be done maybe a little bit better with like more supports, but I think this team is going to be cohesive enough as is. So basically, if you guys haven't seen it, I'll probably post a link to it at the end of the video. But I have a rainbow showcase on this AGL Goten and this physical Trunks, and they're just bananas. Like they are crazy after their EZA, right? But the two that got really overshadowed are this Int Goten and this Tech Trunks. Now these two units, they are later awakening units, very similar to like Tech Kale and Strength Caulifla, where their awakenings were so late, they are actually still really, really impressive. And at some point they have an EZA coming, which means they're going to be even more bananas, right? The big thing with these guys, they're not going to hit as hard as the EZA Goten and Trunks, but they get 70% damage reduction when doing a super attack. If you're on rotation with the opposite. So if you're Trunks and he's on rotation with Goten or Krillin, then he gets the damage reduction, right? So both the Goten and Trunks are the same. They're both attack plus 120 at start of turn, and they get 40% damage reduction right away. But they get an additional 70% attack and 30% more damage reduction if you have one of those guys on rotation, right? So the thing is defensively, they're not the craziest, but with 70% damage reduction, you don't need a ton of defense. And you can see I did go ahead and put a defense equip on them. Putting defense equips on these two actually aren't a bad idea. So what I've got right here basically is you're going to run rotations where there's just a Kid Goten and a Kid Trunks on each rotation, and then the other units are going to float. So obviously, I could run this Goten and this Trunks on rotation together, just like I did in the Rainbow Showcase. They do link a little bit better. The reason why they link a little bit better is these two have Fierce Battle, whereas the Int one and the Tech one here, they're actually shattering the limit. Now, I'm actually going to put an argument that I'm actually going to run them in reverse, where I'm going to actually run a Fierce Battle one with the Shattering the Limit one. And here's the reason why. So you can see this rotation here. I've got a Goten and Trunks together. These guys are just going to constantly be floating, and they're going to link up well with whoever's in the middle slot, right? So as like a floating support, these guys are not as a support, but just as a floating unit, these guys are actually be very, very good. They're not supporting, but they're like a really good attacker. They can hold their own defensively and things like that. The reason why this is a nice setup is because, like I said, the Kid Trunks here, he's going to get his damage reduction on super attack. So he's better in slot 2 than slot 1. And then this Goten and then his counterpart Trunks are way better in slot 1 because they kind of do a semi stack where they can stack a little bit for like 6 turns. And their defense can get up to like 300k, right? So we're just going to take a look here. Let's take a look defensively where we're at turn 1. So AGL Goten, yeah, 98k defense, which isn't crazy. And then the Tech Trunks, 47k defense. Like I said, their defense is nothing to be admired, right? But they have 70% damage reduction. So that's the key. That 70% damage reduction is enough to make a difference even with low defense. All right, so yeah, casual 4 mil, just very easy with this AGL Goten, right? Um, and this should be fine because he's already got a defensive stack. Yep. And then, yeah, 3 mil. I mean, 3 mil for this Trunks that probably nobody ever uses. Like, now with the same name update, break them out, man. 3 mil with 70% damage reduction. I think that's pretty darn good. I'm just saying, that's pretty darn good. And basically, whatever this Tech Trunks does, the Int Goten counterpart's going to do the same, right? So it's kind of crazy because when this Goten and Trunks celebration came out, the same name update was in the data, so I thought they were going to drop it for this because this team, I feel like would make people want to pull for these units, right? So yeah, 90k defense for physical. So like the defense is just like nothing here, right? But once again, this physical Trunks is going to stack and get like pretty wild. And then this Int Goten here, he's got damage reduction. So yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean, we're going to look. This is a team that is a very balanced offensive and defensive team. It's very good. So yeah, 3.6 from this guy. Turn 1. And then let's see, Int Goten. Yeah, about 3 mil for him too. So, I mean, yeah, this team is just going to coast. And there's an additional for over 3 mil now. Yeah, one thing I should mention. Let me just hop into the team here. Let's just go to Goten really quick as an example here. So the thing I forgot to mention is like this Goten supports all allies by 30% on super attack. So like the slot 3 unit and himself, that's why his attack went up on the second attack. And then Trunks does the same thing, 30%. So the thing that's crazy about this team too that makes it so cohesive, like I said, there isn't a lot of floating supports. Like the only floating support I'm going to have is this Goten that just dropped on Vidal's banner, right? Who's a very good support unit. But here's the thing. This guy's an 18% support. This guy's an 18% support. And then these guys support on super attack. So basically, other than the leader, like everybody else is supporting in some way. So like the attack stats can get just crazy here. So here's our first turn with floating support. 175k defense already for AGL Goten. And we'll let him tank with type disadvantage. That's fine. We'll put him out there. He definitely could get hurt on a super because he has type disadvantage, but it's not going to kill us, right? So I'm okay with him tanking. If he gets the super attack off first, we might even be okay on a super. And look at that, already shooting up to 5 mil on turn 2. Yeah, these Kid Goten and Trunkses are just crazy. And 3.64 for the Tech Trunks, dude. Not even easy 8, and he's got 70% damage reduction. This Goten, by the way, is just bare bones, 55%. I basically pulled him, awakened him, and threw him on the team. So he's not going to look as impressive attack-wise, but he's meant to be like just a really good floating support. This physical Goten and Trunks, you really want to break out their active skill when they can dodge a lot, because when they start dodging, they're going to be crazy. So if I get a turn where there's a lot of attacks in slot 3 and I think the enemy can actually like take the attacks, then I might break off that active skill, but we'll see. Physical Trunks, 135k defense. You can see key is a little tricky here. Well, it doesn't really matter that I missed the key here, but like, yeah, you're going to need 3 to 4 key with each unit, just because that's the bad part about like doing it the way I am, but I think it's a lot more safer defensively. But you're not going to struggle for key if you run the other two on rotation together. The Shattering the Limit's going to be a key link for them, so they're going to be fine. So I don't know, maybe what I'll do is starting next turn, because we're kind of seeing like how nice and smooth this is working out. I don't know. The other reason I like this too is because like the AGL Go tanks and the physical Trunks, like they overpower each other. So like when you're trying to stack, like typically only one of them is getting to stack. By having them on separate rotations, they're each getting to stack on their own turn. So even though running this guy with the tech one, you're going to get that Shattering the Limit. Or sorry, they're going to have Fierce Battle. Sorry, it'd be these two getting Shattering the Limit to get a little extra key. I think I'm just going to keep it like this, because to me, this just works out so much better. Because you've got the slot 2 damage reduction, you've got the slot 1 stacking unit that's more defensive. Like, this is just perfect. 4.5 mil here without floating support. And then breaking up. Yeah, so like these uneasy 8 Goten and Trunkses are still shooting out 3 mil attack stats with 70% damage reduction. I'll be curious as we go through the event what they're taking on like some of these harder hitting super attacks, but we'll see. 5.8 from this guy, by the way. Without having like any dodges, like he gets stronger when he dodges when you break off that active skill. So we'll see if we get a chance to do that, but I'm not going to break up these ridiculous rotations I've got. I'm going to kind of keep it going as is. All right, so I'm going to do something a little different here. So I'm going to put the int one in front because he's got the damage reduction. You know, 60k defense, not crazy, but 70% damage reduction, right? Since he has type advantage and there's only one attack coming in, I'm going to put the int one in slot 1 because then we'll get that 30% attack raise. And then the physical one's going to look even better this turn. So let's try it out and see what happens here. We'll go like that. And then we got some text to drop. We'll just do that. All right. This will be very curious to see how this physical Trunks looks. So yeah, bolt 3 mil for Goten again. And then yeah, 5.2 with that extra support added on. And then, yeah, when these guys get additionals, it gets wild because they're a 6-turn stack. So the more additionals you get, the more you're actually going over their ceiling of how high they can stack. This should be very low because he stacked his Defense, yeah, double digits right there. Yeah, so needless to say, this Goten and Trunks build is really, really good. So this team runs 3 Kid Gotens on it, but because of the way I have it set up with them split up on rotations and one floating around, it works out just fine. It's the same as how I did my um, UI Goku showcase, where you have 3 UI signs, but they're all floating around differently, so it works out. Um, 200k defense, but type disadvantage. I'm actually going to let Tech Trunks show off here a little bit. Like I said, key can sometimes be a little bit of an issue here. So we'll just key up here because I do want to keep the super attacks coming. Um, and I don't think this Goku is going to survive the turn. So let's see how 70% damage reduction. All right, so we're taking a little bit of damage there, but it's not that bad. And then 2.7 mil here. So super attacks will still definitely hurt these guys. The thing is, and then after he supers, he was taking double digits, right? So the reason why he was taking damage there was because he only had 40% damage reduction. He didn't get the full 70 until he super attacked. So that's why the rotations I have set up work out so well, because you've got a safer slot 1 Goten or Trunks, and then slot 2 you can guarantee to have the damage reduction before you get hit. So that's why it's such a big deal. That's why this rotation, this setup, just makes more sense to me, even though it doesn't link quite as well. And even with this floating, like the middle guy is going to get full 7. The middle unit's going to get all their links anyway, so you're really only missing out on what shattering the limit with this unit, which isn't the worst. Shattering the limit, I mean, it does hurt that we're not getting the key, but it's only 5% attack and defense we're losing out on. So I'd say just run it like this, guys. Run it just like how I'm doing here. Slot 2, you got 70% damage reduction. Only a chance for 1 dodge, so I'm not going to use the active skill there. 4.5 mil. So you can see the physical in AGL Goten and Trunks, they're floating around 4.5 to 5 mil attack stats, right? On turns with support, they can even push 6 mil. And then these damage reduction Goten and Trunkses that are not easy aid, they're shooting out 3 mil attack stats with 70% damage reduction. Look at that, double digits. I think even against Int UI, they're going to take double digit normals. They definitely will get hurt on super attacks from him, but that's kind of what we're going to test out in this video, right? And then having this like really good Dokkan Fest in slot 3, you don't have to worry about him getting you killed either. So yeah, this team is just very, very good. And the other way that this works out too here is like, yeah, it's just crazy. Because then like this Goten is even split up from this Goten, so they're not like losing their links. Like it's just too good. 234k defense for AGL Goten. We're going to get a Dokkan attack here. We're going to try to leave because Ki can sometimes struggle. All you have to do, right? Like if you find yourself missing super attacks once in a while, it just means you got to pay attention like every turn and just make sure you're grabbing like the least amount of Ki possible and leaving big chunks for your next rotation. That's all you got to do. It's not like the end of the world, right? And needing 3 Ki to super isn't that bad. It's just sometimes the orbs are really bad setups, right? So you just have to make sure the turn before that you're ready to go. But you can see this team is running through pretty smooth here. What I might do too is like, yes, 7 mil crit, pretty good. What I might do after I'm kind of done with like my main team showcases, I might like redo some of the teams and then take them into harder content. So, we can see how maybe this Goten and Trunks team does against GT Goku legendary event, right? Or how they do in Super Battle Road, things like that. Yeah, so let's see here. So, all right, so now we're looking at type disadvantage with only 225k defense. I'm going to try it. And what's my Goten? And they're at, okay. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to break off the dodging here because this is the last turn where we can dodge. So if this guy gets supered at the end, we're going to be fine because he's a 100% chance to dodge the turn we use this active skill. I'm going to try this without an item. With 225k defense, even a type disadvantage super is not going to kill us. And if the super comes after Trunks' super attack, he's going to have another stack in. So I'm going to try it like this. Little bit of a gamble, but I think we're going to be fine here. Especially because we have the guaranteed dodging on the end there, right? Yep, double digit normals, which is great. We're getting our defensive stack, 4.5 mil attack stat again. Okay. And then once again, very consistent from these guys in the middle, 3 mil attack stats. All right, let's see how 70% damage reduction is. This is a double attack buff, by the way. So this is a 30% attack buff twice. So this unit on the end here is going to have a pretty decent attack stat. Yeah, 4.5. And then whatever UI Goku does here on the end is a guaranteed dodge. Okay. So yeah, we didn't do much damage to him there because we had a lot of type disadvantage. But now we've got Goten in the front. This is going to be a much better turn here. Goten, yeah, 200k defense. So we'll go like this. And we'll just grab these on the side here. I would use my dodge active skill, but I'm not getting hit, so it's pointless to use that. So we'll just roll like this, and we're going to be absolutely fine here defensively. No worries on this turn. I kind of want Trunks in the middle to take... Oh, shoot. I wanted Trunks... I want to see what the 70% damage reduction looks like against these UI Gokus. Because they definitely are going to take damage, but I think they're safe from normals, which is really all we need here. Yeah, we're just looking... This team's just looking impressive. 3.1. Can we get an additional? Nope. Okay. All right, and 5.8. So the friend Goten and Trunks definitely has more dupes than mine. I don't think they're rainbowed, but they're probably like 2 or 3 dupes. By the way, I'm going to look at my equips really quick. Because I don't even know if I like built up the Goten and Trunks very much. I don't think I did. Oh, I did build him up a little bit. Okay, I just threw like that level 1 crit, I think, just to do it. But realistically, like full additional and defense on these guys is what you'd want to do. Because the additionals are going to give you that extra attack boost. And then this Trunks, I think I just put a defense orb. So yeah, I haven't really invested equips on these guys very much yet. And this is unfortunate. Because I went like full crit on this guy, and I really should have gone additional. So at some point, if I get dupes, I might go back and change them. Did I do the same thing with this guy too? This guy I did a little bit more balanced. So I think what I had done was that Trunks I had built before he awakened because I needed to use him for an event like a long time ago. And I probably put crit on him then. So that's kind of unfortunate, but we can fix him later. All right. This turn, once again, we could take some damage here. I'm going to risk it with no item because I really want to see what Int Goten would take on a super here. I hope Int Goten takes the super attack. Let's see what happens. Okay, physical Trunks is fine on normals with type disadvantage, so that's good. 5 mil attack stat. Once again, you can see this team just flows so well, so consistent. 3 mil from him again. All right, I want UI to give him a super here. What's 70% damage reduction going to do here? So double digit normals. Here it is. Okay, I really want to see what this does. Oh, 58k. That's nothing. So yeah, their defense doesn't blow you away, but 70% damage reduction. And that's why it's so important you put them in slot 2, right? Because they only get the full 70 after they super. So that's why this setup works out so good, because you have the better defensive stacking unit slot 1, damage reduction unit in slot 2. This is really the way to go, right? And then we have AGL Goten here, 200k defense. He's going to be fine. And then that's the thing with the AGL Goten and the physical Trunks is that they're both getting to stack fairly equally. They're not stealing turns from each other from one-shotting before the other one can get their stacks in, right? So yeah, I think this rotation, these rotations. Now, if you want to run it the other way, like that's fine. Just be aware that like your slot 1 of the defense reduction Goten and Trunks, like they're going to get hit pretty hard. So you just got to be careful if you run it that way. All right. So I'm going to use the active skill here. He actually can't dodge, but we didn't really get a good opportunity to use it, right? So that's just kind of how it turned out. Now, these physical heavy rotations are going to be a lot better against Int UI. I think we can go itemless this turn. Yes, and I really want to go itemless here because I want to see against Int UI how my damage reduction unit does. So 180k defense is fine. Let's see. Go like that, and we will go like that. All right. I really want Goten in the middle to take a super. Double digit normals, yep. 4 mil here. I think we're getting to the point where this Trunks now, after that stack, might even take a double digit super. All right, so about 3 mil again here. Once again, very consistent. All right, give me a super UI. I want to see it. Here it is. Okay. 70% damage reduction against Int UI, one of the stronger attackers in the game. He's definitely been power crept a bit, but he's still really powerful. 81k, yeah. That's it, man. 70% damage reduction. Like, if you think of those middle units as more defensive units, because that's what they're there for, right? But they're still hitting 3 mil. Like, that's crazy solid. Yeah, this team's great. So you can see I'm not going to get through the UI Goku event as quick as, say, that UI Goku team I did, or as like a GT Hero team, but it's just a nice, smooth, consistent, balanced, defensively and offensively balanced team. It's just fantastic. Now, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to risk it without an item. Now, I'm saying it ahead of time, so this isn't me not paying attention, but this Goten could get one shot on the end, but I want to give Trunks a chance to defend with type disadvantage with 70% damage reduction. So I'm very aware that I could die here. If I do, that'll just be the end of the showcase. Normally, I could just use an item to cover up that Goten right now, right? But let's see what happens here. I really want a super to come in the middle. I'm even curious just to see normals with type disadvantage, actually. But 70% damage reduction, we should be fine. And here's Goten pushing 6 mil, by the way. They can get up there, man. All right, 3.6. That's his best attack stat we've seen. Okay. All right, double-digit normals. Give me a super. Please, please, please. Please, please, please. No, please. I don't think we got it. Okay. That would have been great to see. 2 mil for this guy also. That's his best attack stat. All right. And yeah, see, this is what I was talking about here. So a super would have one-shot us there for sure. But we're alive, so we're going to keep going. And I'm going to keep no iteming here because I think this rotation is actually going to be okay. Because we've got so much physical and then we've got the 70% damage reduction. Yeah, just free and easy and consistent. That's what this team is. Free and easy and consistent. This team would be able to beat most of the content in the game. I mean, it's a very, very good team setup. The nice thing too with the nice thing with this team is this team would actually do very well in Super Battle Road. So if I can find a Super Battle Road run, I might do that with this team as well at some point. Because the physical on AGL Goten and Trunks is 6 mil for them. Wow. They defend well enough turn 1 after a stack. Like, yeah, they'll still get really hurt if they take an attack before their first super. But the damage reduction units, they're going to be great turn 1. You just got to make sure they're in slot 2, right? In Super Battle Road. So they're really good Super Battle Road units. Yeah, we'll just risk it here. I'm not going to use an item. We'll just see. And if I die, I die. If the team can survive through, then kudos to the team, right? Yeah, we'll do that. All right, let's see what we got here. This could be our last turn because we either win or we die. I think we're going to be okay here. I mean, he didn't get an extra stack. He's at, what, 180k? Yeah, this could sting. This might do us in. 100k, that's nothing, actually. We're good. 5 mil. Now we're for sure good for the turn, I think. Because we've already seen that 70% damage reduction type disadvantage. We're fine. If Trunks crits, we could win. And I did give him a decent amount of crit, even though that's probably not the way I'd recommend you build them nowadays. Yeah, we got it. Well, there you go, guys. There's the Goten and Trunks team, the full Kid Goten and Trunks team. Let me know what you think. You definitely could tweak the team. Like, if you want to get Tech Krillin on there, like, he's definitely a great floating support option. So, let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the next one.